Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be reviewing and talking about Star Wars Armada. Now, Star Wars Armada is a game published by Fantasy Flight Games and was designed by, there it is, James Niffen and Christian T. Peterson. Now, Christian T. Peterson, of course, is the very famous designer who originally created Twilight Imperium. And he was one of the minds behind this game. Now, this is a strictly two-player game, though I suppose you could do teams. And this is a game where the time limit and the age is well, let's say the time limit is very subjective based on how many points you want to play.
Yes, and even within similar point totals, it's got to be incredibly variable.
It is, because some people could take a long time for the turn and not.
Yeah.
But this is a multi-hour game. I think we can agree on that. If you want to play a full normal-sized game, and this is going to take you a few hours, what comes in the box is much faster.
Yeah, you could do that. Well, you could do the learning scenario and that's provided in the box in the base set is probably
half hour.
If you get to 90 minutes, you've really taken your time.
Yeah,
it is for sure less than an hour to do the learning. And it's actually a lot of the learning scenarios fun. It's not like it's not rote or just a bunch of prescribed steps to get you through learning how to do it. It's actually it's a fun it's a fun game to play.
Yeah,
but
you're not going to keep playing it.
But after you do it once or twice, you've figured it out and you're going to want to move on.
The thing is, what comes in the box is a bit limited. So now I'm not going to show everything that comes in the box because it comes with lots of stuff. But I'm going to show some basics. It comes with some custom dice of 3 different colors: red, blue, and black. They're 8-sided. Black is for close range, but has the most damage potential. Red is long range, and blue is in the middle. And they have different symbols on them. It comes with these order dials that you use. Your opponent can't see them until you flip them up and reveal which of the 4 orders that you gave. It comes with speed dials. So you can set the current speed of your ship. It comes with this nice little custom measuring tool, which has distances, because it sometimes will refer to distance 1 through 5, as well as ranges, which shows you that all 3 weapons can be fired at close range, only 2 of them can be fired at medium range, and only 1 of them can be fired at long range. And then it comes with a maneuvering tool. Now, it only comes with 1 maneuvering tool and 1 range template, and it also, in my opinion, does not come with enough dice.
No, not by half.
I'm okay with passing the templates across the table, but the fact that it literally comes with ships that need more dice to roll than it comes with is a little bit of an annoyance, because you have to roll some, remember what you got, and then roll some of them again sometimes.
Yeah.
With 2 starter sets, if you each have a starter set, you can pool your dice, and that's better. But I mean, in my opinion, since it comes with enough to play 2 sides of a conflict, it should come with enough dice to actually roll that. It comes with quite a few of these little fighter stands for X-Wings and TIE Fighters. And it comes with 2 Rebel ships, the Blockade Runner, which is the ship you see in the very beginning of the original Star Wars, renamed A New Hope later, and the Nebulon B frigate, which you may remember from the original series as the medical frigate, where Luke gets his robotic hand placed on him.
And then the Imperial side comes with a Victory-class Star Destroyer.
Indeed, which is a smaller class Star Destroyer, actually not the ones you see in the movies, which are Imperial Star Destroyers. This is kind of supposed to be an older design, smaller Star Destroyer. And it comes with quite a few of these, and they're not bad for the starting set, but we are going to be reviewing this game. It also comes with a lot of cards, and the artwork on the cards is really nice. And they also come with all the stats and all the things you need to know about the particular ships and fighters and things like that. We're not going to go into too much detail on the components, because you're going to see a lot of them out when we're showing you how to play this game. But we're gonna give this game 2 different ratings at the end of this. We're going to give a rating for the starter set.
Yes.
And then we're going to give a rating for the game in toto.
What it's intended to be.
Because, I mean, this is not just intended to be you get a starter set and play. The starting set is literally just a jumping off point. And then you're supposed to expand this. You're supposed to buy other ships. And when you see us playing the game, you're going to see us using a lot of ships that are not these, that are not in the starter set. So without any further ado, we're going to show you how the setup of this game goes, run you through a couple of turns, and just show you sort of how the game plays, give you an idea of how the game plays, how combat works and such. And then we're going to come back, we're going to talk about how it feels, we're going to rate it, and we're going to review it. Okay, so we are just about set up for a game of Star Wars Armada here, which is meant to be played at 2 players. Now the thing is, part of the setup is sort of part of the game, so we're going to film some of that. Now the pre-setup that we did not film is us making our lists, because you don't need to see that. Yep. But I have made a fleet of 5 ships and 10 fighters here. I have 2 Hammerhead Corvettes, a GR-75 combat retrofit transports, a Nebulon B support refit, which you'll recognize from the movies, and is my flagship, the modified Pelta. I also chose lots of equipment as well as characters to put on these ships, and then I have a whole bunch of fighters of all different varieties over here that are set up ready to go. Whereas, Alex, what have you got over there?
Flagship is the Imperial Star Destroyer, the Kuat refit. It's got the cool scorpion painted on the top of it and on the bottom, actually. So that's my flagship. I've got a small little Raider 1 class Corvette and a Gladiator outfitted as a Demolisher.
Now, Alex's flagship is that Imperial Star Destroyer, which means he's got his Admiral or his Fleet Commander on there. Now, who is your Fleet Commander to that?
I'm using Grand Moff Tarkin.
Now, we're not going to go into great detail about what all the individual upgrades and cards do until we actually use them, but let's talk about what our Admirals do, because they do have a big impact on the game. So what does Grand Moff Tarkin do for you?
Grand Moff Tarkin, and I quote, at the start of each ship phase, you may choose 1 command. Each friendly ship gains a command token matching that command. So at the beginning of each ship phase, I can hand out free command tokens of the same type to all of my ships.
That is a powerful ability. Now, my commander is on the Pelta, a much smaller ship, and that is Commander Sato. He has the ability that whenever any one of my ships is drawing range and firing upon an enemy ship, if that enemy ship is a distance 1 of one of my fighters, I get to swap 2 of the attack dice for 2 any other attack dice of any color, which means I can throw the most powerful dice, which are normally reserved for close range, at long range, which is a pretty amazing thing too. I would rank your Admiral a little higher than mine, but I think mine's pretty good too. I don't think he's a slouch.
No, especially with all those fighters yet.
No, and I do have a lot of fighters to get that ability. So now once we have it all set up and we get all the counters and all the cards and everything going here, the next thing we do is we see who spent the least points on their fleet. Now I spent 400 of my 400 points.
I spent 399 of my 400 points.
Well, you spent less, sir, whether it's by an inch or a mile. Now, since that means you are going to get to decide if you want to go first or second.
I would like to go first.
Okay, first is a very powerful thing, but to counterbalance it, the game has a built-in ability where I choose the 3 scenarios that Alex now has to pick from because he is going first. So, Alex, these are my 3 scenarios, and hopefully I have picked some that give you pause to even out the fact that you are going first. Okay, so we selected Alex selected a scenario which was targeting beacons. Now, targeting beacons, after we set up all of the features, which include asteroid fields, which give you a critical hit if you run into them, or debris fields, which give you 2 regular hits, or a station where you can repair a card. After that, we each took turns placing tokens where if one of Alex's ships, as the first player, is within distance 1 or 2 of one of those tokens, I get to re-roll up to 2 of my attack dice while firing at him. So 2 of the tokens were placed here, and 2 of the tokens were placed there. Alex placed his tokens right next to the ones I was already placing. So now we're going to take turns setting up our ships. You can set up either 1 capital ship or 2 fighters within distance of 1 to 2 of a capital ship you've already placed during your setup, and we'll be right back to show you what we did for the setup. Okay, so here you can see we have set up our fleets. My fleet is all over here while Alex's fleet is all over there. We're going to be coming at each other sort of on an angle. And now the first turn is going to be a lot of maneuvering. We've also dictated the speeds of each of the ships. And now our ships are going to do some maneuvering, but there's very little action during the first turn of this game. So we're going to jump ahead to second turn, but I wanted to show you where the ships started out. So you'll see where they had moved for the second turn. Because in the second turn is the earliest we'll see any fighting. So there you go. That is the setup. And when we come back, we're going to be on our second turn for our game of Star Wars Armada. So here you can see the way the battlefield is after turn 1. Now, there was a lot of maneuvering in turn 1 and not any firing as our fleets are turning to face one another. So now we're going to jump into turn 2, and it is Alex's turn to go first. So what are you going to do, Alex?
I'm going to activate my Corvette.
Okay. The Corvette, it is. Now, what command dial did they have?
I gave it another
Maneuver? Okay.
It's got a navigate command dial, and I have a navigate token.
Are you going to use the token as well?
So I may do just that. Yes. I will be increasing speed by 1.
Okay, so he's all the way up to speed 4 then.
There's the movement. So my thought...
Did you do an extra turn at all, or just move up to speed?
I just moved up to speed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my movement. I already placed it on the board. Where am I here?
That looks like you're going to be at distance of 1 from some of my fighters, and he has the ability, of course, to engage some of the fighters. You're not going to be able to do that.
I can't do that at all. And I'm going to hit the debris field at some point here.
No,
I might just go right through
you're
it.
going to go right through it. So, but it's now he can.
Close.
He has the ability to tie it. No, he's not.
I missed.
You missed the fighters. You're just out of 1. Look at that. That's
Just out of 1.
That's the closest one. He's just out of 1. All right, so you didn't tie him up. I'm going to activate the Paladin Reveal Fighter command. I'm also going to be discarding the fighter token that I just gave him with Hondo and Ak at the beginning of this round. And
So you can activate 3.
So I made, no, 4. He has a squadron of 3.
Ah, all right.
All right, so he's got a squadron of 3, and he is going to activate all the Z95s and the Z95 character over there. They have a movement of 3. So I'm going to do these one at a time. I just got range for all of them. So I'm going to activate the character first.
Okay.
Now, he's got a movement of 3 only. So he's going to go right there. It's about as far as he can go. But he's close enough, I think, to lock in the first 2. Yes, he is. So he flies in. I'm going to hit his little marker there to mark that he is activated. Mm-hmm. And he is going to attack the right Mandalorian, the one on the right.
This one?
No, on my right. I'm sorry. On the one on my right, he gets 3 red dice for a anti-ship attack.
Anti-ship?
Actually, anti-squadron attack. He gets 3 dice against the squadron. I am all discombobulated. He gets 1 hit.
1 hit on my this Mandalorian.
On that Mandalorian, which is not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Okay, then I'm going to activate, though, I've got my other Z95s. So this one is going to have to hit this one. This one can probably hit this one, though. That's already injured. So he's going to move in there and activate. He's also going to fire on the same Mandalorian. Now, because they have Swarm, and the character's already there with Swarm, I may re-roll one of the dice, and the character lets him re-roll an additional dice. So again, he gets 3 dice, 3 red dice on that Mandalorian, but I may re-roll up to 2 of them, which is good because 2 of them are necessary for re-rolls. And there we go, 3 hits on that Mandalorian. So suddenly, they are much more powerful. So wow, what is he down to? 3? Wow. Okay, let's see if I can get finish him off. So I'm going to activate this Z95. Now, I've only got to be within 1 of you, right? So I think if I move right there, that'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That'll do it. So he's going to do the same thing. 3 dice.
Oh, that's it. That's
yeah.
You don't
I get the reroll, though?
Doesn't matter.
I get one more reroll. Wait,
That's it.
It's it. You can only reroll it once. So 4 hits. That should kill him.
That's he's dead.
All right, so that Mandalorian is gone. And then I got the final Z95. You can move right up there.
Don't forget to move your activations.
Thank you, thank you.
Should be on blue.
I'm an idiot.
Activated.
Yes, I'm an idiot. I did that. Okay, there we go. He's going to hit roll 3 dice, again with possible 2 rerolls, which he needs because he got 2 blanks. Boy, am I glad I got those rerolls, right?
1 blanks.
3 hits.
About as good as I was going to get.
You know, with a swarm of like Z95s or the standard TIE fighters, they become so much more useful. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for his squadron activation. Now he's going to do his movement, which he is at speed 2. And at speed 2, he is able to move 1 each. But I don't think he will. I think he's going to go... Well, I think, you know what? I think he's going to turn 1 on the second mover. Like that. And put himself right there. Now, of course, he was not in range for shooting anything, so that's it for him. He is all finished. So that's it. That's it for my Pelta.
Zipelta.
Which I think actually he performed pretty well.
Got rid of one of my Mandalorians.
And he locked up the other one. Also not bad. I'll take it.
Alright, so I'm activating the Gladiator.
I knew that was coming.
I have a concentrate firepower.
And he can move with it.
Now I'm going to have to move my ship.
Alright, so what's he doing? Oh, that ship, yeah. Alright, so what do you know? Remember, that is where he is.
That is where he is.
Having issues. Give me a second. It's because of the thing. There we go. All right, go ahead, pull it out. Well, now that was close.
Like I said, I wasn't worried.
Uh huh. Not worried at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a. So I can do a blue at each of these guys, right?
You might be able to do it like at all 4 of them. I think they're all on your side arc.
Well, I mean, I got 2 in the front and 2 in the side.
No, they're all on the side, dude.
I mean, I can use. That's what I'm saying. I could split the difference if I wanted to.
You've only got 2 in the front, but if you want to do the side, I think you've got all of them. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Oh, I got. Yeah, I mean, I can get them. Yeah.
Because that's the side arc. That's all of them.
My anti-fighter is the same. Doesn't matter where it comes from. It's the same.
And it's got range because it's blue, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw it. I'll take a shot at everybody.
Okay.
So is that 4 blues?
No, one blue
over and over again.
Yeah, because you got there's different guys there. There's a character in there, for instance.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
So who we hitting first?
I'm just gonna go up the line.
Okay, so the first one is a Z95.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Second one is the character. That is Lieutenant Blount. Nothing. Third one is a Z95. Nothing.
God damn it.
Fourth one is a Z95.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hit.
1 hit. Yeah.
That's it.
25%.
That was, yeah, that hurts for you. I'm doing awful. Oof, ouch. It makes you feel better. They only have 3 wounds each. That's why they're so cheap.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a third of his hit points.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You know, silver lining.
And all that.
Okay, so you done with his activation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to activate my GR-75 transports, who will reveal a fighter command They're also going to discard their fighter token,
Ooh.
which means they're going to activate all 3 of these fighters that are all within the 3 that they needed them to be, as you see here. They're going to activate all of them to blow some things up. So, first, let's do...
Some bombing run?
Nope. This is a lockup run.
Oh, shit.
This is you are not moving anymore run. We are coming right at you with 2 of the A-wings there. Oh, excuse me. Coming that right at you with that A-wing there. That A-wing is going to fire into the injured Mandalorian fighter. You don't, or unless, do you have anything there with escort that I would have to hit instead?
Yes.
What has escort?
Both of these.
Both of them, and so that's anything within what distance?
Within distance 1. Well, if you squadrons you are engaged with cannot attack squadrons with that escort.
So distance 1 is engaged.
Yeah, distance 1.
You mind if I pull this back a little bit?
Okay.
Let me just check. Okay, there we go. No, still engaged with him. I have to hit him. Okay, so I have to hit... Okay, so I moved the A-wings there. The A-wings are now engaged with the guy with escort, so they're not able to actually fire on the Mandalorian, unfortunately. I messed that up.
Actually, and now you are... you might... Yeah, you are now also engaged with the instigator.
Okay. So, yeah, he's thoroughly engaged. However, he's going to fire on that escort. Now...
Which escort?
He's going to fire on... Well, he's only engaged with one.
These are bombers, and they're in... These are the escorts.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, I misunderstood. No, I don't think I'm engaged now, or am I?
Yeah,
oh, I am
yeah,
engaged.
you're still in range.
Okay, so he's going to fire on the only escort that I'm engaged with. Who is that?
Okay.
Which for a... I get 3 blue dice on him. 3 hits.
Damn. In a obstructed because in a area field.
He's going to move there, and he's going to take a shot at the Mandalorian. Because he's not connected anymore.
He's out of range of him, too.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. But,
yeah,
because
okay.
it just means he can't move.
Right.
He takes 1 wound on the Mandalorian. So that knocks him down to, what, 3?
3.
Not in range of the Mandalorian, so I'm going to take a bomber shot at the front arc of your gladiator there. So I get 1 red die for bomber, which it's bomber, so crit counts.
Ooh. So I'll take 1 damage.
So yeah, so 1 off your shield on the front. I'm going to do a 1 turn on the second one. And I'm going to put him there. And that is it for my GR75. Which actually did a lot, mainly thanks to the fighters. Yeah, activating the fighters was actually pretty big. I did a lot of damage there. You take a shot at the, what is the A-wings up there?
The A-wings here.
Okay.
With the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I have concentrate firepower.
So you're gonna add another blue?
Well, I'll do it if we'll see. I'm probably going to. Yeah. 4. That's a hit. Concentrate firepower. 2 hits.
Oh, that's actually pretty bad for me. Because they have 4 hull. That knocks them down to half life. All right. And then your move. Is this going to hit your own ship?
No.
God, it's coming close.
It's coming close. Not going to hit it.
What are you at, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to hit. You're right.
Can you just pick up your X-Wings real quick? Everybody's moving.
Okay, so welcome back.
Welcome back.
So now you could see how combat works. You could see some of the ideas of how you set up a scenario, how you pick the scenario based on one person who basically, you do a bid.
Yeah.
You bid basically saying, I'm going to use less points than you so I can go first, but then you get to pick 3 scenarios that I have to choose one of to play.
Right.
And you get the general idea. This is how this plays. And the normal size, that the current tournament size is 400 points, which is what we were playing, which is actually can be quite a few ships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially for the Rebels.
Yeah, well, Rebels generally seem... I mean, there's some lighter ships on the Imperial side, too, but Rebels seem to have a larger number of small, light ships and be able to do a real swarm force. I often manage to get 5 ships in 400 points, which, I mean, seems like a lot, especially since you often only have 3. Mm-hmm. But that's part of the asymmetrical nature of this. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
And the fleet building is tons of fun.
Sure. It's infinitely variable. That not only are there so many different kinds of ships, each ship has at least 2 variants.
At least.
Sometimes more, depending on the expansion.
Like the Imperial Star Destroyers have had 2 different expansions for them, so they now have 4 varieties.
4 varieties,
Yes.
right. So just in the ships, not even getting into the fighters or the squadrons or bombers, or that goes...
And some of those have tons of variants.
Right, so you can go on and on with that, but yeah, the built-in variability just in the components is impressive. And then you add the gameplay, and it can go forever.
And even with the just the 2 variants of the ship, like if a ship has 2 variants, that seems like really cool and a lot. But then also, there's so much variability in what upgrades you can give to each ship, which is based on the symbols that are on the card. They tell you what upgrade they can take.
You could literally play this game 100 times and not use the same outfit for a ship.
I managed to make every list I've played of this game so far different. I've never played the same list twice.
Right.
Not once. And we've played this like a dozen times.
And it would be hard to make the same list twice, honestly, because you want to learn from what you've done previously.
I've actually managed to make sure to not use the same admiral twice so far. I've been going through like,
right.
I think I used Adana more than once, but I've been trying to mix it up and try to use like all the different admirals because I've been buying a lot of the Rebel ships, and it gets very addicting. Like you want to buy all the different stuff. But now back to the starter set.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit about in the beginning. This doesn't come with enough dice to even roll some of the ship attacks that come in the starter set, which is a bit annoying.
And it definitely doesn't have enough dice for an upgraded variant from a expansion pack. And none of the expansions come with additional die.
And then they know this because they released a dice pack. Which is kind of annoying because, all right, to start with, this is like almost $100 starter set, which you really need to play.
Yes.
And it comes with only 3 ships, 2 on the Rebel side, 1 on the Imperial side, and a bunch of fighters.
Right.
And so you're like, well, at the very least, they could give me enough other components to play properly, and they don't even do that.
Yeah.
I do feel like, the game is expensive. They're pre-painted miniatures. You knew they were going to be expensive, but I do feel like the starter set could have been a bit better, at least if they had given maybe more ships or more dice and things like that to give you a little more variety, a little more utilage out of it.
Yeah, and when you're playing a 400-point game, you're hundreds of dollars.
You are
into it. So
it is a money.
Complaining about a $10 dice pack seems a little petty, but it's something that should be included in a starter set.
It really
should have enough dice to play the game as it was designed.
So that is definitely the starter set. That's definitely an issue. The price point of the fact that to get, like you said, it's hundreds of dollars, multiple hundreds of dollars to get a full-size fleet.
Yes.
That's going to be an issue for some people, but the gameplay itself.
Well, how much did the 4th edition of Twilight Imperium cost?
Over $100.
Yeah. So I mean, you're in that. You're in that.
This is more though, because
this is more. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it is.
It is.
So you're in that. When you just understand when you're playing this game, you have committed to doing that. You are now playing a 4-hour game with homework beforehand.
Yeah.
And you are in the $100 to $200 range to play a respectable 400-point game.
But then here's the big question: is it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We started off this talking about the downsides, and now we're done talking about the downsides.
Yeah, because that's all the downsides.
Because
Because the rest of it is all amazing.
Right. It's you have pre-painted miniatures, which are excellent. The
Yeah.
quality of all of these are fantastic,
They really look really cool. Like look at this shit.
and they're pretty, but they're built well. I mean, these things are solid.
Oh yeah. And then on top of that, the gameplay is amazingly fun. Yeah, there's a lot of randomness, there's a lot of dice rolling, and you have to be prepared for that. But that being said, it's amazingly fun. It's so satisfying to destroy your enemy's ships,
Yes.
to outmaneuver them and outsmart them in a battle is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. After you've done the homework and you've set it up and you're ready to go, it is all on you. It is mano a mano, and you are playing a multiple fronts, game of chess. Basically, you are really reacting and planning and strategizing, and depending on how you play, you could have the game won with your fleet you built.
Yeah.
Or you can be really good at reacting to what your opponent has just done. Or you could be really good at predicting what your opponent's going to do and outflank or outmaneuver. Or you could just have better equipped your ships and
Which is the designing game.
and brawl it out. And
Which is something, I mean, this reminds me a bit of a lot of other miniature games and also things like Battletech, where you can spend a lot of time between games just working on lists. Right. Like, I've written up, I think at this point I've literally written up 2 to 3 dozen lists.
yeah, I've got at least 15.
Yeah,
and I think we should take a moment to give credit to, is it Ryan Kingston?
Oh, Ryan Kingston for the Fleet Builder? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, if you guys get into this game, Google Ryan Kingston Star Wars Armada Fleet Builder. He has a free website up and you can donate money to it. And it's so useful for designing lists and then just printing them out. It's amazing. He did it totally gratis just because he loves the game.
Yes.
And in case you watch it, Ryan Kingston, you're awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but you're awesome.
Well done. And really well done.
Really. So, all right, we've talked a lot about the starter set and the game. So let's give some ratings to this. Let's put our money where our mouth is, so to speak.
Okay.
Now, let's start with the starter set.
Sure.
Now, we've talked that the starter set is a bit lacking in regard to what we would have liked for a starter set for this, especially for the price. Do you want to go first or second on the rating?
I'll go first. Starter set, 180 point game, or 180 point fleet, with what they give you in the starter set, is a 7 in my book.
See, now I'm at a 6.
I like the quality of the products.
Yes.
Is very, very high. The rules are very well written. The gameplay is really fun. But I could see why you're a 6.
Well, there's some of the rules that I think are a little bit ambiguous. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on the rules. There's some of them that are a little ambiguous. That took us a while in looking through facts to get. So
that's true. Yeah.
So I did have a bit of a problem with that, and that is something that with a $100 game I don't want to have to do. Yeah, I'm glad they have facts. I am, but I shouldn't have to. So that's an issue I had with the rules in the base starter set. Another thing is, for 6 means I have to be in the mood to play it. And generally speaking, with just these 3 ships, if that's all there ever was, if they never came out with expansion ships, if all you had was the starter set, this would only be a 6 for me. I would only play it once in a while. I wouldn't play it all the time because
that is a good point.
There's not a lot of variety.
Yeah, that is a good point.
To the base set, which is why I'm down on a 6.
My counter to that is that it was never intended to be just a base set.
That's fair.
It literally says, well, it's referred to as the starter set, but this was never intended to be the entirety of the game. If you get this and don't move on, you've shorted yourself tremendously because you haven't played the game.
I'm going to just end this part of the discussion with a quick little minor counter, is that while I do agree with what you said, I agree that it was never meant to just be that. I'm going to save that part of it for the full review of the game. Okay. So when I'm talking about just the Armada, I'm ignoring all of the expansions when I'm just talking about the starter set.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the whole game. And the whole game means with the facts, understanding the rules completely, and all of the expansions that you can buy to customize your fleet and keep expanding and keep building, and crazy amounts of variability. And let me go first this time. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. And I know that's crazy different from the 6 I gave the starter set. And the 6 I gave the starter set is really about my disappointment with not having enough of certain components and not having enough chips for a lot of tactical variability. But oh my god, is there unbelievable amounts of tactical variability once you start buying the expansion ships. And I mean, we've bought a lot now, and we just keep buying them. We just keep going. Yes. I mean, yes. I've spent, I think, more than you have, but I can't stop.
I've spent quite a bit.
So where are you? How many stars would you give?
I'm a 9. Absolutely.
You're a 9 also?
I'm a solid 9 on this game for sure. The only game I can think of that compares to this for me personally is Sails of Glory.
Very similar in the style.
And I rate that a little higher than this, simply because because of the cost is a factor.
It is much more affordable again to Sails of Glory.
And the availability of Sails of Glory, not just the cost, but the time and the lack of homework. The game is
it's much easier to just pull out and play.
It's fully encompassed.
Yes,
that's neither here nor there. That is a better game for me because of those reasons. But this is a tremendously good game.
Well, I mean,
based on all of the things that he just said.
Well, we both now we're in total agreement. We both rated it 9.
Yeah.
We both rated this game 9, and we both rated Sails of Glory 9.
Yeah.
Which means that even though I agree with you that Sails of Glory is, if I have to compare the two and I have to pick one that is my favorite, Sails of Glory is, in my opinion, the better game. It's marginal. They're very close.
I agree completely. Yeah,
and they are different. I mean, this is all about the customization, where Sails of Glory is about just grabbing 2 ships and throwing them down and just
going. Right.
But no, this is a phenomenal game.
There's a reason that there are literal world tournaments.
Oh yeah,
for this game. There are, when you start getting into it online and reading battle reports and figuring out how you want to build fleets and researching it, stuff like that. They are famous within the community for being
good,
so competitively and tournament level good in this game, and they have a world championship every year for Armada, and the points total keeps getting higher, I think, for tournament play.
Oh, they're talking about now possibly raising it to 500.
Which that would be... I'd be curious to see how that would work, because 400 point...
Oh, I could pull
fleets,
a 500.
Oh, I could absolutely do it. I'm just interested. The gameplay would be...
It would... You know what would change the most, in my opinion, is the usefulness of certain admirals. Because admirals that are more useful the more ships you have would get even more powerful. Yes. So people like Admiral Akbar, who says like every one of your ships, if it's firing only out of its sides, can add 2 dice to your attack. Suddenly at 500 points, he'd be way better.
Yes, every ship gets that. But it also decreased the marginal cost of the admirals, because they are the most expensive upgrades.
They are.
And
usually.
Usually. If you could start adding those for a much less total point
percentage,
that would really make a difference in the game. I think.
Same points, but smaller percentage.
Right, precisely. It would be less. They would become more valuable because they'd be less costly. So
there you have it.
Yeah, that's 400 point is what we played,
and that is where we. And so at what comes in the box, we're at a 6 and a 7.
Yes.
But at what comes when you're doing a full tournament size, which is 400 points, we are at 9s both.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's, I mean, for the whole game, for the entirety of the game, but be aware that it is going to be expensive. You are going to be spending a lot of money. But for the entirety of the game, that is 18 total points between the two of us, which is really high. That is an incredibly high score. But we really enjoy this game. And in fact, now we filmed the game that we used parts of to show you how to play on a different day. But as soon as we're done with this video, we're going to play another game of it. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to be trying out for the very first time Admiral Leia Organa as my admiral. I can't wait to give her a shot. Who are you playing with today?
Today I think I went with Thrawn.
Thrawn again? Did
I go with Thrawn? No, I'm sorry. I did not.
Oh, no?
I have to look. I can't remember that. You make so many of these.
You forgot which list you brought?
Build so many fleets, I forget which one.
Which one you brought?
It's on top of my case, so I'll
have to take a look. Well, there you have it. Feel free to comment down below if you have any comments, questions, or concerns either on this video or the game of Star Wars Armada. And if you enjoyed this review and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give this video a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.